Hello there, it's been a while. Joe's Velosophy, Joe Diamede coming at you from the south of France. Sun in my eyes. Lovely sunset happening here on a mild day in December. We had a mild November, then it got cold in December, and now we're back to a few warm days. But, it's all tumbling towards spring and summer now, because a couple of days ago was the winter solstice, which marks the end of the natural year, and the days start getting longer and longer in the northern hemisphere, that is, and quite the opposite down the southern hemisphere. And it's a really nice time of year because it's still cold, still winter, kind of we enter into winter, I should say, and it's nice to know that the spring is going to be coming soon, and we're time to hibernate and chill out, and our work schedules calm down a little if we're lucky enough to work to give ourselves a natural schedule, because a lot of times in the workaday world that life is created here, where we don't follow, our calendars don't follow the natural rhythms of the year, like this, the 21st being the solstice, the end of the natural year, but we're about 10 days out because January 1st is 10 days later, which starts the calendar new year. So, everything is a little bit out with the natural world and the world we have created alongside of it, that we go to work with, and we, punch our clocks, whatever we do to earn a living. If we have to earn a living, maybe some of you are fortunate enough to be retired or have enough money that you don't have to earn a living. That's great. Or those out there who could be creative. Those out there who are traveling, say, with no schedules, no time, no bills. Who knows? There's so many ways to live life. And as we've seen in the last couple of years, for sure, we have to make sure that we're in control of the way we live every day, every waking moment, because we're not sure what the next day is going to bring. And we could look at that and be morose about it, or we could look at that and say, wow, that's really cool. So every day is a new day. Every day brings something exciting into our lives, and we have to go with it. And, this year is just full of synchronicities, and my life has been full of synchronicities, and it's continued and continued and continued. And I had a couple of times I was going to do something on the channel, and then I got sidetracked, and it didn't happen for some reason or another. But one great story was I was cleaning out the atelier here, and I was looking for some old brakes, and I went through and I found some old mechanical disc brake, and I was like, oh, yeah, maybe one day I'll use that. I put it back into the little box that had its, brakes that I may one day use, and literally 10 minutes later, there's a woman up the street here who lives here, and she's unfortunately in a wheelchair from an accident, and I've been helping her for years and years and years. She's been in a wheelchair a long time. It doesn't let her stop her. She goes and travels and moves around. But, I've been keeping her going. She has a wheelchair, and she has a cool kind of motorized trike that she uses, and I've helped her on many occasions keep those bikes and trikes and wheelchairs going. And so literally after I saw this mechanical disc brake, put it in the box, and I was doing something else, and then all of a sudden she pulls into the driveway, and I said, hello, and we went up, we had a little chat, and she said, look what's happening, my front brake is not working. And I looked down, it was a caliper brake, an old school caliper brake, and I said, yeah, that's really broken. I said, I may have something, and she said, yeah, the bike shop said they couldn't find it, and da, da, da. So literally within 15 minutes I had swapped the caliper, and she was off pedaling. She goes, continue the magic, Joe, continue the magic. And that's what it's all about. Just a little bike shop like this, magical times happen all the time, all the time. I'm working on something, I'll come across a tire, and I'll say, oh yeah, I'll put that on the side, and then someone will come in later on and going, hey, I'm looking for a crazy tire size, do you happen to have it? And I'll say, oh, as a matter of fact, I do. So don't let those magical moments, pass you by, and prove to you that life is magical, because it is. In this little shop here, I feel it all the time. I'll build a bike, and I'll just say, I wonder who's going to fit this bike, and then, I'll get a call from somebody who'll say, hey Joe, I'm looking for a bike for my my kid. He's tall, but he's a good rider. It just happens like that. And if you love what you're doing, and you enjoy what you're doing, and people are getting joy from what you do, and you're getting joy from what you do, that's what's called a win-win situation. And on the closing of this year, 2022, the calendar year, and actually the new moon tonight, New things start. This is the last new moon of 2022 as you move into getting closer and closer into the full age of Aquarius, where things are just, we're going to be working from the heart, and life on the planet is slowly but surely changing. I know for a lot of you out there, it doesn't feel like that, but there are big changes coming. And if we work from our hearts and we make sure that our schedules don't take over our lives, because this life on this planet is meant to be lived in a synchronous fashion with the universe, where we're meant to be in tune with ourselves, with our hearts, with our likes, our desires. And once we do all of that, we're ready to face this new year, this 2023 that's coming up, and ready to face all the challenges that's going to give us, and all the beauty it's going to give us, and all the magic, and all those synchronicities, and all those things that await us every day in this upcoming year. And I don't know what anybody out there has planned. Holidays, retirements, a new job, babies arriving, grandchildren arriving, whatever it is, never let it be lost that all those things are magical. This planet, even though the weather pattern seems a bit weird at the moment, who knows? Who knows? 15 years ago, I was wearing a t-shirt at Christmas time here, and now I'm a little. It's a little like that today, But I just put on my jacket. This is the jacket I found in the first bike shop I ever worked in. I was looking for a lightweight jacket. I looked on the shelves, and there's like an original, I don't know, it's from the 70s, look. They do pedals and they do skis and everything. They do lots of things, but they're pretty big in the bike world. And so I still have the jacket over 30 years later, and it's great. It's fun. It's fun to have, these mementos of a past life, be it a jacket, a pair of pants, a hat, or something like that. But again, these are the material things that maybe ties to a memory, it ties to something, but it's the material things along with the magical things, the spiritual things, and at the end, and then the everyday human things in our lives. And all of these together make this life such a magical moment that every day when we wake up, we really, even though we think we know, we don't know what it's going to bring us. And that's how I feel about 2023. I just think like, wow, what's going to come up? I have a little bike trip planned, because last year I had a little bit of a skin rash that stopped me from riding my bike as much, and I got rid of that and sorted that out with diet, change of diet. And I've changed a few things in my diet, and I'm feeling good right now. So, that's cool. It's like, wow, that's magical. It's like, oh, what goes in comes out, and I just had this rash that was bothering me for nearly a year, and I ran into the right person who told me, oh, change your diet and try this, and I did it. Within 3 weeks, it was gone. So how magical is that? What we eat, how we treat our bodies, it's a direct effect. So how we treat our bodies, how we treat our minds, how we treat the year, how we treat the planet, it's all direct effects, and that is the magic of us being human, and that is the magic of the bicycle world, or whatever world you're in. You might be a plumber, you might be in IT, whatever you do, make sure that brings you joy, and you understand what you do, and you're bringing, and that work is bringing love and joy and happiness to other people in their lives, and then you can't go wrong. If what you're doing is not bringing joy and bringing misery, maybe, or maybe being destructive to the planet in some way, maybe you have to rethink about what you do, and especially if you're not feeling happy in what you do, and you're not waking up every day and going, what's in store for today? Well, maybe, we have to rethink that, because if everyone on the planet starts doing that, just imagine how much more magical it would be, once we start accepting, the differences, and accepting that every day, every single thing we do is a magical moment. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Hey, I'm not there. I'm not saying I don't lose my temper or get a little bit frustrated. I do, but I really try to bring it back and go, wait a minute. I look back at my life. I look back at, how we were able to raise our kids. I look back at all of those things, and I just think like, man, that has been really an amazing journey, and it's still continuing. So that's what I got to say to you on the verge of the yearly change and Christmas coming up, and all those fun things. So enjoy the people you're going to be with, the holidays, the food, everything that's going to come into your life in the next couple of weeks. And I hope you had a good solstice, and you got your new moon tonight. So set your intentions for 2023, and be healthy, stay well. Till next time, Joe's Velosophy. And if you can, ride often. Take care. Be well.